Hello and welcome to the first iteration of ATF. Thank you for participating in the sub tournament hosted by Taiko Frontier. I'm one of the hosts since home. Before we get into the showcase, our commentators have some important things to tell you about the tournament, so please listen. Good luck to everyone in the qualifiers. See you soon. Bye.
Hello. So, I am one of the commentators for the Qualifiers Showcase here, Ethereal Winter. I am joined by another 2 commentators today. Say hello, guys.
I'm Plushbun.
I'm Passive. What's going on?
So, some of you may know some of us, some of you may not. We're here to help you through the showcase today and give you some information. First of all, we need to talk to you a little bit regarding the rules for FM within the tournament. So, for clearing this up throughout the entirety of Advanced Taiko Frontier, if one of your 2 players is picking no mod, your other player must use Hidden Hard Rock. there has to be the 2 mod combination across both players. If both team players are playing with a single mod, one has to play hidden, one has to play hard rock. I think that is everything in English. Plush, would you like to explain that to everyone in Japanese?
もしかしたら日本語の表現が間違っているかもしれませんが、日本のご視聴者の皆様へフリーモードのルールについてご説明します。あるプレイヤーが NM を選んだ場合、チームメイトのもう一人のプレイヤーは HTA チャーンを使わなければなりません。あるプレイヤーが HT を選んだ場合、もう一人は A チャーをプレイしなければならず、その逆も同様です。また、両プレイヤーが HTA チャーをプレイすることも可能です。それだけ。
Yep. So the entirety of exactly what has just been said is that you just need to guarantee that there is a hidden and a hard rock in play across your 2 players, as this is a 2v2 tournament. Hopefully that covers those rules for you and everyone feels a little bit more comfortable. We do have a little bit more information to let you all know. Glasuv, would you please share some information?
About screening, right? As far as I'm aware, we have not completed screening, so just know that you'll have to keep yourself updated on that. We should have an announcement coming as soon as we complete screening, so just stay tuned about it.
Yeah. But without further ado, I'm sure everyone is absolutely desperate to get into the actual showcase. So, let's go! So, first off here, we have the map. Wow. Wow. So, starting off, of course, this is our no mod 1. I mean, this is going to be your more consistency-based map. There's some 1/6 bursts throughout this, but the patterning is pretty simple overall. A little bit fast, but at this stage and this level, it's quite common you see slightly speedier maps for your no mod 1s. So yeah, I think this map's pretty self-explanatory in those regards. Anyone else have anything to say?
If I've had anything to point out is that sometimes some of ones are like longer maps for consistency, like you'll have 3 to 4 minutes, but this is pretty short actually.
Yeah.
So we're just...
Yeah, I think this is a pretty easy, smooth kind of map to start off with for the tournament.
Yeah. So, as you can see, it's a star rating of 6.6, around 200 BPM. Should be comfortable, I think, for the majority of players in this tournament, having a look at all of the different teams. I expect to see people handling this quite well. This map is pretty simple up until the end. There's a little bit of the S slowdown here. If you're not paying entire attention, you might mess up when it speeds up here. Some opportunities for accuracy drops, but up until the very end of this map, I think everybody should be holding on pretty comfortably.
Seems okay looking to me, yeah. It's a bit dense because you have the reduced train time, but overall with the 200 BPM factor, it should really just be a breeze from those players.
Yeah, I mean, the map, like I say, is pretty self-explanatory. It begins to get a little bit harder here. There's quite a difficulty ramp up right in this section. A lot of bursts, 1/6 into, I think, possibly 1/8 there. Definitely 1/6 anyway. And then we go back into a little bit here. And then it's pretty chill up until the end, a little ending here. And that is your no mod 1. Overall,
Thank you, Riff for the map.
Yeah, and thank you for the play there as well. We should be thanking our replayers, I believe. So, Malo, I don't actually know how to pronounce your name. I'm really sorry. I'm going to say Malo. one of the few replayers I'm not actually familiar with. So, Malo, thank you so much for your replay.
Very good play.
Very unfortunate 1/100 creeping in. Yeah, I think most players will be pretty happy with this map overall. It's self-explanatory. It's a no mod 1. You know? Alright. We can move on to no mod 2. And here we have you love or you don't love category. This is
They always come
Definitely
back. Yeah.
the speedy Nomad 2 within this pool. 270 BPM, 6.3 star rating. Again, this map, it's just the speed that's the problem. The patterns are pretty simple, to be fair. When you break them down, it's just fast. As expected of a Nomad 2. Yeah. Quite a jump from your Nomad 1. 270 definitely on my personal speed skill. But knowing, as I say, quite a lot of the players in this tournament, I feel like this is still moderately comfortable for a lot of them. We are looking at a qualifiers pool, so it is naturally going to be a bit harder than the earlier stages of the tournament. Yeah, simple patterns. There's some short streams thrown in throughout the map, but the majority of it consisting of like monos, triples, and some quintuplets. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, not very dense patterning here. I think mainly due to the higher BPM. But I think this is still, yeah, like you said, quite comfortable for this rank range. Just keep out for the BPM increase after no mod 1. Be prepared for that.
The good thing about this tournament, as everyone who's involved will know, is that it is a 2v2 double elimination tournament with teams that are alternating between around 2 to 6 players. So for qualifiers, I think most teams will be pretty comfortable if they need to switch players out. You have both of these there. So. And really not too much to say about this map, other than it is longer than your Nomad 1, which isn't necessarily always the case for consistency and speed, but in this case, this map's around 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yeah, like more of a stamina check in this case, I guess.
Yeah. Fast stamina check, kind of just everything that you expect from a qualifiers pool, I would say. Play is insane. I don't know what else you would ever expect from Yukineko. Yeah. As you can see, the difficulty of the map isn't Oni, so it is very simple patterns, but yeah, fast map. Incredible play by Yukineko there. Or, sorry, G.
Thanks, G.
Thanks, G. That's my G right there.
Oh.
Yeah, anything else anyone wants to say about this map?
Nothing's pretty straightforward in my opinion, nothing much to point out.
Yeah, okay, then with that, we move on to your Nomad 3, which is Culprit Lightfold.
The tech slot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so being a tech map, it's all about your awkward timings. The map starts off pretty simplistic, just focusing on timing. Yeah, very mono heavy at the start. It will change. Don't expect it to stay that way. There's definitely some more troubling timing coming up. This map I could see being very easy to choke accuracy on, but that is the standard for tech maps, so no surprise in those regards. Apart from that, the majority of the patterns again here are quite simplistic. They're all focusing on more Oni to inner Oni type patterns. So there'll be some short streams throughout, but nothing too crazy. Coming to the second quarter of the map here, the first part being pretty simplistic, straightforward.
Now we get into the real deal, the snappings and such.
This is exactly where this map begins to step up, and this is where I could definitely see some potential accuracy drops. I don't expect to see too many people struggling massively on this map in regards to combo, although there are some incredibly nasty 1-6s here. Overall, I think not too much of a challenge for players of this skill range, but the timing accuracy could definitely be what throws people off here.
I think the BPM is definitely not an issue here. Would be very comfortable for players of this range. Again, it is just the awkward timing here that will make it very easy to choke accuracy.
Yeah, the snappings in this are a little bit cruel. But hey.
That is the
Overall-
point of an Mod 3, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the point of your tech map. Overall, one of my favorite special skill sets. I love a good tech map, and this one, no exception, a little bit more challenging than some, but I would say it's still very fun.
Actually, a lot of my favorite mappers end up on no Mod 3 slots. I really like Miyagishima's maps, so
Yeah,
it
so
was nice to see. We've only seen 1/6 snappings, maybe 1/3, but that is most of it.
yeah,
Okay,
nothing
yeah,
really
like
going
doublets.
above that, but still the 1/6 snappings are quite nasty. As you can see, 1/100 being dropped there, unfortunately, but completely understandable. Still an incredible replay played by Blank. No name. All right. Anything else? I think we'll be moving
Nice
on.
that.
Yeah, so we move on here to our new mod 4. This map being around 200 BPM, 5.3 star rating.
Mapped
This
by,
map is kind of-
Ina.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Mapped
Yeah.
by- yeah. Naita.
Nanana Yuta. Yeah, this map kind of doing what most No Mod 4s do, testing all the things that weren't tested between No Mod 1 and No Mod 3. Focusing a little bit on SV more than anything else. Some speed ups in the SVs and slowdown. Does get quite fast SV wise, but nothing too crazy. This map again, another super fun one I would say. I love this map. The songs were really, really good too.
Love the
Thanks,
fast SV
Kumasi
on
for
the
the remix,
cars.
actually.
We love Kumasi remixes.
Looks pretty fun so far, yeah, with this. Like, it is an SV map, but most of the mechanics used are predictable and, like, not unfair to the player. Like, those ninjas were the same at the start of the map.
Yeah, quite a bit of repetition, I will say, appears throughout these maps, which is understandable. Definitely makes learning them a little bit easier. I think there will definitely be some practice required for these players, especially on the maps such as this one, where the SV goes a little bit crazy. Super, super easy to mess up your accuracy on a map like this. I feel when you get into... Yeah, that's not exactly what I'm saying. It's pretty fast. I think this one's one of those ones that if you can't keep your nerves in check, you're going to struggle quite a lot on.
Especially with the sudden FP speed ups.
This one's really easily punishable in accuracy. And there you go. That is all of our no mods, I believe.
You watch out for that ending. That was pretty brutal compared to the rest of the map, so.
Yeah, this map definitely testing you on everything else, especially your SV reading ability. Definitely a bit more challenging, I would say, especially compared to No Mod 3, but definitely a fun one, and I think will be interesting to see a lot of players' qualifier scores on this one. But without further ado, I believe we're heading into Hidden 1, which is Rip Rider Cosmic Aurora. I feel this song is one of the prettiest out of the entire pool. I really love this song. This map is your classic slow hidden. Very simplistic patterns. Nothing too crazy at all, but will definitely test your slow SV reading ability.
The unpatched ghost stat method.
Yeah. Honestly, for this map, could be very, very useful simply because it is slower BPM and, well, not really so much BPM, but the SV. Definitely, I think one of the skill sets players struggle with the most in all of Taiko, regardless of level. Slow hidden definitely seems to be the one that throws a lot of people off. Gets a little bit more intricate and awkward here. Loads of opportunities for misses and accuracy breaks with all the doublets and short streams happening. Apart from that, I feel the map is pretty simplistic.
If slow hidden is not one of your main skill sets, this will definitely be one to practice though. I know leading up to the Taiko World Cup there were quite a few players preparing for slow hidden. Definitely something to keep an eye on here.
PSA definitely seems to be one of the least common skill sets and the one people struggle with the most. So I imagine, yeah, here we go, there's the short streams that I was mentioning earlier. I imagine that this map will be the one that requires the most work from a lot of people.
Probably between that and the Mod 4, yeah.
Yeah, the Mod 4 as well.
Qualifier
Definitely
pools.
difficult.
Oh, we mentioned the mapper.
I don't think we have. Would you like to talk about the mapper, Glasso?
How'd you pronounce their name? I've never really thought about that, actually.
I don't know. Lexa? I don't know.
I don't know, but they are definitely one of my favorite mappers, and I've seen them quite all over the place recently. It's pretty cool to
Definitely
see
popping
them.
up a lot as of recent. And you can see this was played by our one and only Shin Jin-hom right here. One of your hosts for the Taiko Frontier. Yeah, incredible play. And with that, we're moving straight on to, I believe, Hard Rock 1. This is A Lake with Endless Stars. Again, a very, very pretty song. I'm loving the map pool selection that we have going on for qualifiers, I can't lie.
Yeah, one of my first impressions was that I was loving the song choices here.
Yeah, they're really, really good. Quite a few known ones, and then some that I feel like are not as known, which is really, really nice to have that diversity within a map pool. This being mapped by Tasuke and I Want To, another very well-known Taiko mapper within the community.
Got a really strong lineup of mappers for this tournament, it seems.
Definitely some incredible mappers showing up in these map pools. This map, testing definitely their speed SV reading being 220 BPM, then hard rocked. There's some awkward doublets and timings that can throw you off. It's kind of like a mixture between tech and speed, but I would say more focusing on the speed element. For those of you acquainted with hard rock, this is probably not too bad in that regard, but will definitely require a little bit of work for timing. I think these doublets are what throw me off the absolute most about this map. The patterns themselves are pretty simple, but having a chain of doublets thrown at you in high SV can be a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, I find that doublets are some people's absolute weakness sometimes, especially maps at this BPM with this kind of SV can be very hard to keep up.
The weird thing about a qualifier hard rock is that you have to fill the role of the hard rock 1 and a hard rock 2 at the same time.
Yeah, this is when the SV picks right back up, yeah. So this is where people might struggle the most. You had more of the techie little elements within the first part. This is entirely down to your reading ability. This is just pure speed SV here. simple patterns, quite a few little short streams scattered throughout. However, they are quite simplistic ones, quite repetitive, so not too hard to memorize.
Whichever the phenomenon is there.
Like there are loads of chances for choking accuracy or even potentially dropping some misses within this last section of the song. Keeping in mind to also be hitting these random finishers that are being thrown out as well. Not hitting your finishers properly can be the whole entire reason that you're placed lower than other teams. But yeah. That is our
That'll be
hard
the
drop.
hard drop skill. Yep.
Yep.
Another great map from Sasuke.
Yeah. I think overall, this one is probably going to be quite easy for a lot of your hard rock players. Those who are not so confident in their hard rock abilities definitely might struggle a bit more with this. Another map played by Shinji Nome as well. Thank you for the replay. Alright. Moving on to our double time. This map is by Sensei. Again, this map's quite fun. I'm not great at playing this with DT, but it is fun to play no mod, I will say that. Map being around 201 BPM when DT is added onto it, having an OD of 9.56, which isn't that easy to act. So it's
really
definitely
out of place for a DT slot, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those, it's not focusing on your speed because your Nomad 2 is already covering that, your hard rock's decently fast. This is definitely focused on your technical timing when coming to DT. So, definitely fitting of a double time 1 slot, staying true to its name. Again, very fun map, some short streams and very easy chances to choke accuracy within this. Especially with the slowdown here. I feel without some practice this part could really catch you off guard as it slowly begins to speed up again.
From the replay, it could look pretty deceiving. It's really just the audio that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the difficulty of this map.
Yeah, again, the patterns are quite simplistic, minus the random 1/6 that is scattered throughout the middle of some of these patterns. Say there's quite a few short streams. Without the DT, definitely a lot easier to hit. The moment you throw that DT on and that OD shoots up, definitely becomes a lot more challenging. So should test quite a lot of players and their abilities, but overall I think it should be a relatively comfortable map for a lot of people. And again, we have another incredible play by the Frontier owner. I wonder who that could possibly be.
No idea. Also,
Not
that's a
a
really
clue.
short map. Didn't even notice. 1 minute 30, the shortest map we have yet.
Yeah, also quite common for a double time though, as you are cutting it down by around 1.5. But going into your FM, again, keep in mind, this, I don't know if we would call it free mod or forced mod. I would say it is forced mod, as you can't have two no modders. So keep in mind, you either have to have a hidden player and a hard rock player, or at least a hidden hard rock. You need to have at least both mods active across your team. This map, a pretty challenging free mod, I would say, well, force mod, I would say, considering, obviously we're watching it currently in no mod, so you can imagine how intense it gets. You're looking at a 205 BPM map with hard rock on it, which at the beginning might not be too bad, but it does speed up and get a bit more challenging for your hard rock players. And of course, I don't know what I would say this map is more friendly towards, because I feel like good hidden players will be fine and good hard rock players will be fine. It's pretty balanced, kind of nullifies it. It's not really anti-mod to one or the other in my opinion. It just depends on what you're better with.
Yeah.
This map will be brutal on hidden hard rock though, especially with this section. This is definitely more challenging. I would say this part is probably harder for hidden. So there's definitely sections that kind of target both mods.
Definitely something to keep an eye out for is that slow SV at the start. That does not stay. You can watch it gradually speed up throughout the map and slow down again.
Yeah, as we see the speed up here, this part definitely probably being a lot easier for hidden players than what's about to hit for the hard rock players. Oh, streams right there that can hit quite hard. I mean, this part you can imagine how fast this is when you add hard rock onto it, so definitely I would say this ending's a bit more hidden friendly, but I feel like it kind of just abuses both mods, to be honest. I'm excited to see who is brave enough to go and hidden hard rock on this, because I feel like there will definitely be players out there that are happy and willing and probably set good scores, but as we can see, a Nomad SS from the one and only Shin Home. So yeah. With that, I believe that is the end of your Qualifiers Showcase.
That is the poll, indeed.
Overall, I believe that it's a very, very solid pool. I think a lot of players will be quite happy regarding the pool that they are receiving here. I expect to see some really, really good scores being thrown out by a lot of the players within this tournament. I think being a tournament that ranges between rank 400 and rank 1800, people are very, very capable of this level of play. Yeah. I think it'll be a fun one.
Very excited to see who does choose Hidden Hard Rock on the 4th mod. That will be very fun to watch. Will be pretty tricky, I think, especially with those SV changes.
Well, I believe that now that the Qualifier Showcase is over, that will be everything from us. All I can say is best of luck to every single player, every single team that is involved within the tournament and who will be participating in the qualifiers over the next week or two. And yeah, have fun everyone. That's it from us for now. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye!